Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. So glad that you all are here with us today and glad to see you today. Marvin Wilson, how are you?
Wonderful. How you doing today, Kim?
I'm doing wonderful, and I think we're going to have just a great conversation. I'm excited because I love when I get the opportunity to bring people on that's going to be able to share some resources and some ways to help people just overall be better. And I bring a lot of guests on that do that. They just give and pour out of their souls to help people. But I'm excited from a funding perspective today for you to come on and share some light and shed some light and share some information with people that we may not know as small business owners, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So looking very much forward to it. So listen, everybody, as you come in and grab your virtual seats, what I want you to do is tell us where you're visiting in from, and also make sure that you tag about 10 people. Let them know that you are watching this episode. And today we're going to be talking with our new Lindeo franchise owner, and he's also a U.S. veteran, and he's also an author. We're going to be talking with Marvin Wilson today. So I think it's best that I go ahead and give everybody just 30 seconds because people get frustrated, Marvin, when we start and they're like, you didn't even give us a chance to get in our seats. Here you are talking, giving knowledge, and didn't tell us anything yet. Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds, tag some friends right quick, and then we're going to jump into it. All right, and we are back, and yes, we are talking with Marvin Wilson today. I see comments coming in already, and I see you, Dr. Lotus Rashay. Thank you so much for being here today. So glad to have you. Our actual guest today is Marvin Wilson, a Charlotte-based entrepreneur, author, recently announced the opening of his Lindeo franchise to help small business owners find the working capital they need to survive and thrive. And through this program, through the Lindeo franchise program, he is able to provide resources to small business owners in the Central Charlotte, Monroe, Cabarrus County, and every stage of development to help them identify and secure financing. As I said earlier, he's also an author and he's also a U.S. veteran, U.S. Navy veteran. And so we are glad to have Marvin Wilson right here with us today. All right. So,
all right.
Ted, how do you just become a Lindeo franchise owner? Was this always a passion of yours, or where did it all begin?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. To step into it, I'm very just self-motivated. And 6 years ago, Kim, I was in a totally different industry. So, I mean, apples to apples, it wouldn't be no match at all. Like,
right. Okay.
So I got my claim to fame when I initially got out of the military. I'm originally from Salisbury, North Carolina. Okay. And so when I got out of the military, I worked for the Veterans Hospital for a while, and it was great. I'd already did my 6 years, and did 2 terms in Bahrain, a Desert Storm veteran. And when I got out, when I joined the Veterans Hospital, it was more like a retroactive towards my retirement. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to retire, just work at the VA, keep this thing going. It's something, Kim, when you put your life on the line, your temperament changes when it comes to taking risks and stepping out on faith. And so I just politely put my resignation on good terms, of course,
Okay.
and stepped out on faith. That was 2007.
Wow.
And I haven't looked back yet. So I've been a serial entrepreneur, but most people would pretty much know me from the ticketing industry.
Okay.
Me and my mentor, which was Wayne Davis, we sort of put a platform here together here locally, and we pioneered an idea to Hampton University, the athletic director there at the time.
Okay.
And he pretty much had the hold on CIAA and where this thing's supposed to have been going. Now, this is when we first got, a hold of what CIAA was all about before the Raleigh-Durham area. Yeah. So when we put that deal together, I gave him enough. He was comfortable enough to say, okay, yeah, I think this thing is going to be a great, go in Charlotte.
Absolutely.
After that, we did, I think over the 3 or 4 years, we did about 400 something plus events in the city of Charlotte.
Wow.
With the CIAA, and of course other events outside of CIAA, but to claim the fame, I think most people knew us as the Black Ticket Master.
Yeah. Oh, everybody knew y'all as a Black Ticket Master.
Yeah.
You don't always know. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't have a clue who the face is behind some of the things that we experience, but every single person throughout the Charlotte and surrounding areas all use Black Ticket Master. I mean,
absolutely.
Not one of us did not.
Yeah.
So now you guys are getting the opportunity to meet the face behind Black Ticket Master, him and his partner.
Yes, it is. And we seen when the city said they made 78 million in the window of a 3-4 day period. We was right in the middle in the trenches from the airport, from the hotel, hospitality, and so, but with that, something that, we had a very successful run. It was great. But, with me thinking a little bit different, I saw a scene like more of the demise, and I'm saying the demise because I saw technology coming, and I said, we're going to have to make a move. The move was either we're going to have to get a Spectrum concert building, or we're going to have to get into something dealing with technology. At that time, of course, not being the CEO, that wasn't my decision, but we got caught up with technology.
Who was the CEO?
It was Mr. Wayne Davis, Wayne E. Davis. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was the CEO at that time. He was a good brother. He was, corporate, work ticketing for a lot of professional baseball teams, football teams. And he went to UNC Chapel Hill. He did the Air Force as well and came out and really made a corporate space. And that was different because people that looked like us really wasn't in that space.
Right. It's inspiring.
Yeah, because it's like when people say tickets or you did tickets, they think like we're on the corner trying to hustle people. I said, no, we're putting ticketing modules inside of 15, 20,000 people, in concert buildings. We were actually really running corporate ticketing inside of venues and Coliseum buildings. But at the end of the day, it taught me a lot about business. And what pioneered me to get to understanding what business really looked like and what credibility looked like is because once that one ticket space called Eventbrite, it totally dismantled our whole business model. Because again, why would you need to come to us to sell tickets when you can create your own?
That's amazing. So like that, Marvin, something can change. You could have a whole, like you say, claim to fame happening, and everything is coming through you automatically, you and your establishment and your group. And then just like that, something comes up, like for example, like Blockbuster Video, right? You used to go to the video. But then when Redbox came out, it was like, I'm not going to the video store and get a whole videotape when I could just go to Redbox.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's what's happening right now. Everything is just sort of going through a revolution. Like every 2 or 3 years, technology is moving so fast. And so when that happened, Kim, it really was interesting because I was making way up in the 6 figures. And next thing you know, I was almost back at my mom's house. It was really that big. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for entrepreneurs today that are in that situation? Things are going on an upward trajectory, but then out of the blue something happens, and then they find themselves back to ground zero, even almost under the dirt ground zero. You like all the way back to ground zero.
Yeah.
No matter how successful you've been, to experience that low is overwhelming for some people. They can't always take it. What advice do you have?
Well, I mean, anything that you get into, always be more of just staying grounded, stay open at the top. Don't ever think that you're in a comfortable situation, that this is going to be the trend for the next 3 years. You always got to be sure that you're shopping the market, understanding what's that next level to whatever you're doing, because, you know, technology can totally, you know, take anybody out of, you know, certain areas or career sets these days. And, you know, and I've seen that happen, you know, first myself. And so what I always tell all of my clients is like, you know, make sure that when you're building a business, make sure that you're fundable. Meaning fundable is just a way that you can always have monies that you can invest or pioneer yourself into that next level or next age of technology or information. So I just tell people, just always be a student of the game, you know, always be a student. Right.
Always remain grounded, be a student of the game, and be fundable. Right. And that's something I know we're going to talk more about, that be fundable, because I hear that a lot, but I want to make sure we deep dive into that today too, as far as what does being fundable actually look like for those that are like, well, I want to be fundable, but how do I know if I am? So we're going to talk about that too. Today's episode is sponsored by Lamb Funeral Home. If you have not learned about them, definitely visit lambfuneral.com. They're located in the Concord, North Carolina area. Their phone number is 704-782-3011. And when you reach out to them, please let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And we're going to take a moment to just go to their site, so you'll get a chance to get a visual when you check it out at lambfuneral.com. Here we go. They, again, are certified in all 50 states. So regardless of whether you live in the Concord area or you live wherever you are in the United States, know that they have a funeral home with a truly caring atmosphere. And I'm really excited because the funeral home owner here, Mr. Terry Lamb, their establishment has over 28 years of experience, but he's also a veteran. And so he's eager to work with veterans, and he's working with any people. So it doesn't matter if you've had experienced death in your family, loved one, please reach out. Their phone number is 704-782-3011. But veterans, he knows the ins and outs of that, whether you have adult dependent children or you have a spouse. There are so many benefits that I never even knew existed for veterans when it comes to funeral services. So please make sure you let them know that we sent you their way, and you'll learn what to expect, as well as the immediate needs and funeral pre-planning. Again, that's lambfuneral.com. All right. So talk to us, Marvin, about why you chose Lindeo specifically. Why Lindeo? Because you're a Black Ticketmaster. You can do anything. You like.
Well, I put it like this. I was in when I left the ticketing conglomerate. Like I said, I had to figure a lot of things out. First thing I had to figure out, Kim, was I don't need to go at this time and point in my life. Let me do the ground research on life, business, what really runs this whole capitalism business model. So what I did is I just threw myself. I started traveling the whole country, going to underwriting seminars. I was down to my last few bucks, but I was just going anywhere I could to just get some type of information. And so what happened is I wound up getting into more of like a multi-level marketing type atmosphere, just to sort of know and learn the business model. And at that time, I think that was like 2000, maybe 15. And at that time, it was called FES. Now, and I claim the fame, I got in there, but the type of people that I was around, Kim, I had to bring more value to the table. And those guys, nothing against FES, but they are just selling credit instead of educating people about credit. Mm-hmm. And I'm really big on education. So with that, I just had got the business model. I went out and pioneered and got my own credit company that's still standing as of today, which is funding-credit.com. And we have two two offices. We have one in Concord, and have a satellite out in North Cross, out in the Cornelius area off Sanford Road. But with that being said, I got into Lindeo because what I was doing is I was consulting people because I knew about credit. I was an expert on credit.
Right.
I was an expert on business credit. So things started coming to my table like, hey, Marvin, hey, listen, I got this money. I need to even know how I can leverage this business. I just emptied my 401k. I really want to step out on faith, but I want to build this business right. So those type of, I started solving those type of problems on my own. So I had got a guy that I had worked with during the PPP and the SBA process, because I did have a lot of people in this area with that. And he said, Marvin, I heard something through one of my clients, and it sounds just like you, brother. You need to check this out. I said, okay, hey, what's up? And so he sent me this link, and it was a Lindeo link. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, Lindeo, I've heard of these guys. He says, Marvin, you really need to pay attention to them. He said, because they're doing billions with the bank right now.
Yes.
I said, well, what do you mean they're doing billions with the bank? He said, actually, they've pioneered and made patronized a partnership with pretty much all the influential banks in the United States, because they have the best proprietary software that's in the country right now.
Yes.
Really? I said, okay, I need to look in there. So I gave him a buzz, and it was so funny, Kim, because it was some couple people that was already looking at this district. And I told him, I was like, hey, just wanted to, chime in. I wanted to see a little bit more about what Lindeo is about. And we talked for a few days, ironed it out. He called me back. He says, Marvin, the opportunity that you was looking for, he said, it's quite interesting. He said the guy moved to the other side of the country. He backed out. He haven't gave us his, actually the rest of the money. And he said, it's up to you if you want to step forward. So I prayed on it. And, I gave him told him, give me a couple of days. I gave him a call. I said, you know what? I see the military discount, which is about $10,000.
I didn't want to, what? That is so crazy you said that, because I was like, what? As a host over here, I have to ask now, how do you go from being almost back at your mama's place, right, Marvin, to being able to buy a Lindeo franchise opportunity? Right. But I was going to let you off the hook.
Yeah, no,
you just said that.
I'll tell you what though, Kim, and that's a great concept and the way to look at it, because God has been so good to me. Like I said, I really got in the trenches with my credit business. I was doing six figures for the last 2 to 3 years. I was living out on the peninsula at Lake Norman, living in a house that was doing all my business credit. And not trying to be egotistical. I'm just saying I give God all the glory, but being out there on the peninsula, living in a 5,000 plus square foot house on the water. And it was just because how I was working and the problems that I was solving in the community. And
this
so
is with the other company that you were with, FES?
No, this is with Funding Credit. I started with FES, but I implemented my own company, which is still going, which is called funding-credit.com. That's my subsidiary business to Lindeo. But what got me to Lindeo was because once I heard what they had done and patronized all the banks, and they came up with this new model of showing people how to be fundable and matching people where they are. It got me. I think God put this in my journey is because I've always tried to show people, I'll educate them how to get 100,000, 50,000.
I think you froze.
$1,000 credit community, and I think it's just about the lack of. We're smart people, but the lack of information. But they would go get the $50,000, $70,000, Kim, and next thing you know, 3 or 4 months later, they would ring me up. Hey, Marvin, man, And so, with that being said, I'd start really implemented my Funding Credit Academy, which I teach students, I teach people in college, I teach entrepreneurs about financial literacy, the stuff that they don't teach in school. I did that during COVID. But Lindeo, when I stepped into Lindeo, I went out to Utah. And, I was like, hey, guys, y'all done got my 80-something thousand. What's up?
Okay, so it costs approximately $80,000.
Yeah, it's close to like 80-something thousand. That's with my military discount now. You know,
You know what? I'm sorry. You're like the perfect person for. I got to put you over here for a second. We got to put you front and center when you say.
hey,
I'm sorry.
military discount. You
You
know,
said when you got your military discount, it was still a hefty bucket of change in order for you
oh
to become
yeah,
a
yeah.
franchise
And
business owner.
I mean, but that's the thing about being fundable, though, Kim. It's when it's not about how much money you have. It's about, if you imagine and you want to put yourself in a good, in a good instrument or a good business model, and an opportunity shows up, you should be in a place to be able to go take it, or to be able to be at least an opportunist, at least to be able to look over it and say, okay, let me look at this. And if you need to make a move, you can make a move. And I was so, I was just in a good favorable time that I did have that access to monies. I had funded over $4 million with EIDL funding and PPP funding just here in the local area, helping people understanding how to apply, what to put down, and how to put the fundamentals into different pieces of their business, and doing it the right way.
That's everything you're saying, and I promise you, I'd go to great measures not to cut my guests off at all. But the things that you're saying is triggering, because we don't have a scripted conversation here. I'm just talking to you, right?
Right.
What you're doing is you're triggering me and making me think of all of the news articles and things that I've read personally, and I'm like, what in the world are people, anything to do with these EIDLs and the PPLs and all? It almost makes people so nervous about even applying for it because of the horror stories that I personally have seen. I was like, I hope I would qualify, but I don't know. And if it says one thing in there, Marvin, that is not something that my organization qualifies for, I just X out. I just cut off the whole thing. I don't care if I qualify for 9 out of 10, and the 10th one I didn't qualify. That's not me right there. Click. So there goes that funding. But here you are today. Here you are today, sitting on a show, proud to say that you've helped people with over $4 million. You said, right?
Yeah. And with both products, with PPP and EIDL, was a little over $4 million.
So you're not hiding from the government. You're here. I'm like, you don't want to have to hide from the government and try to do something on a down low. You want to be able to do it the way Marvin Wilson is talking about doing it, right?
Absolutely. Knowing what your NAT codes are, knowing that you got to show your 4506s, you got to show your money, and you got to I tell people, documentation is more documentation is more money, and it needs to be the right documentation.
Dude, let's do this. Let's take a commercial break, and we're going to talk about what the right documentation is when we come right back. Okay, right after this.
Absolutely.
This is good. So all of you that want to know about EIDLs, PPLs, and all of this funding that's out here, we're talking with Marvin Wilson today from Lindeo franchise owner, and he's going to give us some more right after this commercial break. Wow. Today's episode is sponsored by the Snow Legal Group, 704-358-0026. And you can email them at info@snowlegal.com. Let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And let's learn more about Snow Legal now.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow. And at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, so we're back talking with Marvin Wilson, who is not hiding from the IRS or the government. He's out here telling the world, you can do this, you can do it. Let's just do it legally the right way. What is the right way, Marvin?
Well, the right way is just being upfront, understanding what the government looks for. It's just like applying for anything else. You got to have, definitely, a healthy and active business. You got to have an EIN number. You have to have social media presence. And when certain documentation that they ask for, you got to be able to provide it. And it needs to be accurate. And, if everything matches up, then they usually be able to, explore giving you some funding. But it's just with a lot of the people not understanding, how the government and how we're looking to be fundable these days, it gets people into an understanding. I guess the misconception is that, oh, I have bad credit, I can't apply for it.
Right.
Well, there's all different kind of ways that we were helping people get fundable, because, if you would go in at certain times, they was changing the criteria. You needed to have, at first, it was like a 580 credit score. Then it went up to a 620 credit score. So sometimes people were getting denied. So what I did is definitely with Lindeo, and what I love about Lindeo, even before I jumped on board, but Lindeo was pretty much have partnered with the SBA. Now they're official partner of the SBA. So me being here locally in Charlotte, people can reach out to me and understand they don't have to get a lot of this misleading information, because we're getting it right from the partner. We're partnered with the SBA. So, and that's why I'm really so happy and excited about, because there's so many people that missed out on monies. There's so many people that's not really was informed, and they could have got funded to help their businesses. And so I was so happy Ken Lemon had me on, I think it was Channel 9, Ken Lemon's on.
I know Ken Lemon, yeah.
Yeah, and he came out to the office in Lake Norman, and we did a feature. And I spoke to the whole, area here in Charlotte, in the community, about, doing the preventive maintenance, making sure that people understand what they need to do, and, maybe being able to budget in certain areas now, because we really don't know what's going on with this economy. And we had a great time. He had me on there a couple of times, just advising small business owners. So that's when things really started opening up for me. And I started really understanding that it was a need there in our community for us to be able to understand how we can really have a healthy business, no matter what's going on in the economy. And so with that, when I jumped on with Lindeo, the difference, and I want to make this, put this out here, the difference between going to Wells Fargo and going to Lindeo would be, you wake up in the morning and you say, man, I need to get a business loan. I need to get some loan. I need to get a truck. Right. I need to get some money for this business. And you go into Wells Fargo, you sit down with one of the loan officers, and they say, okay, Mr. Jacobs, let me see, let's put you in here, what you're applying for, yada, yada, yada. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we just can't help you at this time. I think your credit might not be where we're looking for. And, but we'll maybe check back with us. I'm sorry. But with us.
Let me interject, because I love role playing. So let me ask, so what is it that was on my credit that was a problem that would prevent me from being funded?
Probably either your interest, probably your credit to debt ratio was probably too high. Maybe your credit wasn't where it needed to be. It might be you had too many inquiries. We call that shopping, meaning that they've seen Miss Jacobs all over the place, and you may have got denied before. So just based on prior denials, they're not going to give you any money. That's why people have to come and get those inquiries taken off before you go into funding, because they're looking at your roadmap. Banks are always looking at your past experience, how you paid, where you been, were you successful, and those type of things. But other than that, it could be maybe been it might be a cash revenue type thing. A lot of people don't get the type of funding that they're looking for, is because they're not showing their monies. And that's sort of like a collateral thing now. A lot of people could understand if they could really show the monies that's going through their bank account. People will give you monies if they see you making some money. But if they don't see you making any money, then they're not going to give you anything. So Lindeo has a proprietary service that we can, instead of you applying at one bank, you're applying with 75 different banks. And instead of us pulling your credit, we're going to do a pre-qual on you. We're going to throw it out there to all the recommending lenders that would probably look at your file, and they're going to come back and say, hey, Ms. Jacobs, this is what we got for you. We got this option, we got this option, we got this option. Now, you going to Wells Fargo probably took, I don't know, you could have been in there all day, half a day, and then they took maybe 3 or 4 days for you to even know what's going on. With us, we could do this in probably about 30 minutes. And we could probably get you and put monies in your bank within 2 days.
Say that one more part again.
If you're talking to me, the difference between us and the traditional bank is the banks right now usually taking people 5, maybe 7, sometimes 10 business days for you to even get access to your monies.
Okay.
With us, our proprietary system, because it's not a manual underwriting process. The key to what Lindeo is doing, they're revolutionizing the banking market because, Kim, that's the reason why banks were so slow doing PPP, because they were doing manual underwriting. So that means that's a person back there looking at each loan saying yes, no. But when you have data driven, a proprietary system that can go over the loans, make decision making processes with technology, that means the whole process just speeded up like a trillion times over. So we can get people funding within 2 business days. People are like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. We can do the application within 15 minutes. We can let you know probably within the next 2 to 3 hours what approvals we got for you. Then after we get the approvals, we'll talk and make sure that you're knowledgeable about what you're getting into, what was your options. When you say, you know what, I want that one, I want that 25,000. That's when we go ahead, we get your the agreements together. You sign, understand what you're signing for. Money's in your bank account within 2 days. It's that quick.
Is there, I know there's a process, and the process begins how with Lindeo funding for your establishment?
Basically just being able to get our link, clicking on a link. When people call our offices, they would, hey, I'm interested in looking for some funding. We just send you a link. It's a very simple, simplistic link, and ask a few questions about your business. We get you pre-qual. Next thing you know, we might need maybe some bank statements or maybe some primary information about your business, and we get you funded.
Now, do you have to personally guarantee the Lindeo funding as well?
Absolutely. Well, right now, I get that question asked me all the time, and I'm going to tell you right now, people talk about they can go out there and they can get funding with their business and with their EIN number.
I don't know how. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Listen, even if I was a bank, I would probably would be concerned about just giving people money on their business. That's unless they're like a Walmart and they're doing millions of dollars with trade lines. But right now, I think with the economy, it's not even specific about who's in front of the banks. Right now, it's about what could possibly happen within 2 to 3 years. What's going on in our economy? Is this guy going to be alive? Did he catch COVID? Oh, he's a good guy. He pays his bills on time. But at the end of the day, the banks are not set up to lose. And I tell people that banks right now are doing more short-term loans. They're giving you 2 or 3 years. Let's hurry up and get our money back. And they're taking a whole lot more preventive maintenance as far as saying, okay, we need some collateral. We need some credibility, or you got to have to show us some revenue. Those 3 things is what banks look at.
Say it again. What those are? Let's write that down. Collateral.
Yep. Collateral, meaning that do you have something that's valuable to us that if you don't pay us back, we can come take it. Right. Revenue is that, hey, Kim, I see $7,000, $10,000 going through your bank. You know what? I can match you because if you're showing me 10,000, well, I could possibly give you 10,000. The difference between giving you 10,000 that what you're making on a monthly basis, if you would come to them and had 10,000 going through your bank accounts for the last maybe a couple months, if you had a 700 plus credit score, they would probably give you triple the amount of what you're bringing in monthly. That's the difference between showing revenue and having an okay credit score than someone coming in with a great credit score.
This is so informative.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Wow. I mean, I don't want to overwhelm you. If y'all have questions, feel free to ask your questions, and we'll go ahead and put them right on the screen. And you know what, Marvin, I want you to make sure you definitely can just relax and enjoy your beverage. And just take your time. We don't have... We drink on this show. Actually, look, I got a whole plate right here. I would go slam. You got a whole I have salmon omelet, but I'm trying to hold off after the show on that one. Okay?
I know that's right.
So I have that stuck in my teeth while I'm talking to you. Listen, everybody, we're talking with Marvin Wilson, and he is a new franchise owner at Lindeo. I know there's an upcoming event that we're going to talk about that you all will be invited to come out to. So we're going to give you those details when we return. But right after this commercial break, Marvin, I want to find out, I'm trying to think of, and you guys, please ask your own questions. I don't want to just dominate the conversation here. So when I come back, I'm going to go to the studio audience to give them a chance to have ask some of their questions and give you a chance to answer them. So Cassandra, if there are any questions backstage that you all want to type over there, let me know and I'll pop those up as well. All right. So right after this commercial break, we're going to hear more from Marvin Wilson. Today's episode is also sponsored by, let's go with Silver Shield Security. Silver Shield Security, they have state-of-the-art equipment, 704-440-4688. And you can also visit them at silvershield-security.com. You're going to love their customer service and some of the different cameras and stuff that they have. I utilize them too. So I really love Silver Shield Security. So let's learn more about them now.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
Okay, so everyone, we're back and we're talking with Marvin Wilson. I see you all chiming in here. I definitely can see some Facebook names. I can't see all of the platforms, but I see Demona DeBrew. I see you, Mai Tai, Katrina Womack. I see you, Ella Spratley, my mommy. I see you, Lotus Roche, Dr. Lotus Roche from the Lotus Roche Ignite show. I see you all there. Let's see what some of your comments are and get to them. Let's see. Anybody have a question? Feel free to go ahead and type it and we'll get it answered. I saw a big paragraph of a question, but I got to have my glasses. Oh, there's one. Okay. Let's see. Demona DeBrew says, wow, this is good stuff. Is it too late for people to still get funding for their businesses through the PPP and other programs?
Good question. PPP, I think that's pretty much has been, it's exhausted at this point. But there are a lot of different monies, and people definitely understand that SBA has a whole lot of different products out there. Like I said, the economic disaster relief monies, they're still there. They're still giving out increases. There are other things that patronize certain businesses, but you need to really understand business that where you are with it, because there are monies out there. Right now, they're giving out a lot of different grant monies to a lot of different nonprofits. I mean, it's just money everywhere, but you just got to be a little bit informed and understanding, where to look for and what to ask for. So,
and you know exactly where to look for it?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what I just got back from Utah to an underwriting convention we had out there. And I mean, all the guys, right? American Express, all the big lenders that, people get monies from were out there. So this going on. We got term, we got lines of credit, we got all these things, people looking for commercial deals, commercial real estate acquisitions, all kinds of stuff. So it's like, I was just buried into all this information. So I was just so enthusiastic to get back here and bring this back to Charlotte, because it's two things we got in Charlotte. We got banks and we got churches.
You better believe you are a funny person. So you actually can do some comedy on the side. So the Lindeo franchise owner with the comedic flair to him, this is good because you make people feel more relaxed.
Right.
And
absolutely.
so everything's such an uptight, starchy situation when it comes to funding, from my perspective anyway. So when I come to meet with you or do my online consultation, which I will be doing, I can see that you're like, hey, I got you.
Yeah,
relax.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like. And I'm on this other, I'm over here on this screen, but am I looking at you? I'll be like, you got me, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is with Kim, it's just about, been there, done that, had it, lost it. You got to meet people where they are. Don't go into it being judgmental. One thing about our community, and what I, always want to let people know, you got to be vulnerable, and you have to get off of this whole pride thing, because, if you need help, you're seeking help. And that goes for our health. That goes for our, everything, our spirit, our business. You have what you don't know. You got to go out there and you got to ask for it and seek some help and seek some advice, And we really got to, and I take a lot of accountability in that. And I love being able to talk to people, just be really letting people be realistic about what they're trying to do, give them timelines. But now I'm just excited because I've got myself onto one of the fastest, probably the most vivid and the most best approach when it comes to businesses now, because like I said with Lindeo, if you have a 600 credit score, we can meet you there. But if you have an 800 credit score, we can meet you there. A lot of people like, well, is this subprime at these high interest rates? Well, if your credit messed up, you're going to have messed up interest rate.
I'm sorry. I got to put you over here for one more second because you got to say, you be saying some funny, because I mean, you look just keeping it real, which is what I like, because it's like, say what you just said. Let me take this lady's comment off. I see you, my tie. Good morning to you. But I don't want your comment up there when he's saying this. Okay. Make it plain to the people. Say it one more time.
Well, I mean, the thing is that we meet people where they are, so we don't turn a lot of people down. But I tell people, listen, if you're going to bring me a 600 or a 590 credit score, what you expect is going to show up. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to change the dynamics of how funding is. We're just giving you more solutions and more options. So we're not telling you no, but what I'd like to do and reason why I've made sure that I could keep my subsidiary business is because when people are not fundable, Kim, what I do is I tell them, I say, listen, right now, your probabilities of getting funding is really not there. But this is what we can do. We can add maybe some major trade lines to your credit. Maybe we can go out and take some of these negative items off of your credit. Maybe we can get you in some of these bookkeeping so we can nurture your bank statements to make sure that you really put the type of deposits in so we can show revenue flow. It's different things that we teach people. So it's not a no. It's just about you understanding what you need to do and fix to get yourself fundable. That's all.
I love it. So you're going to provide a solution and a one-stop shop situation through your Lindeo franchise ownership or through your additional projects that you have, which is funding credit and funding credit. Regardless, you're saying, just come to me and I will help you. Even if it's a delayed process of, we're going to get you built up where you need to be able to be fundable through this company that I have.
Absolutely.
And the resources that I'll connect you to. That's what I'm understanding.
Yep, absolutely. And I appreciate that, Kim. It's just, that's where I'm really trying with the event. The launch is coming out. I'm having a launch at the 229 venue downtown Charlotte. I love that place. I know those guys down there.
Yes, that's Monique Douglas and her husband.
Yes.
That's beautiful on the boulevard, right?
Yes, absolutely. They do a fabulous job, and I told them I definitely wanted to patronize their business and bring something over there. So we're going to definitely have, a launch there. We're going to present some things and some new stuff that's coming to our community, talking about some things we can be able to help churches, nonprofits, pretty much any business that you in, we can help that. We can help you. And then we're also looking.
When is that? Let's look at when that event is so we can get that popped on the screen too. Okay, that's going to be Cassandra backstage. Help me with this. Wednesday, September 29th.
Yep.
From 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be an open house for Marvin Wilson, and he's hosting the open house for his Lindeo business. So you'll learn the benefits of Lindeo, as well as, aren't you going to be signing your book as well?
Absolutely. Passion for Freedom. That's it. I got it right here. Yay!
The Passion for Freedom. I'm going to put the image up, and then I'll also put you front and center. Let me pull you over. Let me put the book image up first here. This is
there you go.
I love the cover of this book and The Passion for Freedom. Tell us about that cover there. Why you
man, Kim, it's just, you got to have something in you to make you want to, no matter how many times you get knocked down, talked about, doors closed in your face, laughed at, picked on, it's something in you says, get up and let's get this thing going. Nobody knows what you got inside of you, and it's you the one that have to put it out there. So with me, I just felt that's just me coming out of my necktie, out of my suit, like, yo, I'm going for it. And again, me being a veteran, that's always been sort of like a mindset, like I'm going for it. There's no ifs and buts about it. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep going. And so that's really been my journey. And the Passion for Freedom is something that I had brought into my spirit And on the back of the book, if you would look at it, I had something that I guess you can see my mother, and
I'm gonna put you over there. You show the back. Give me a second. Here you go.
Yeah, my mother, I patronize my mother and my grandmother on here. I was more so at the beginning. I was, raised as with a single parent. My mom did get, married to my stepfather, but those two women there, they really taught me one thing about God. They taught me about how to treat people, how to be humble, but humble. But go out there and do what you're supposed to do. Keep your head up. And so a lot of people like, Marvin, your first book, it's going to be about credit. It's going to be about business. I said, nah, I got to come with a little deeper space than that. I got to let you know a little bit more who I am. We can talk about that other stuff later. But me as an individual, I definitely want to let you know, what the blessings that I had around me and the people that gave me the foundation and the footwork to go out here and be who I am today.
Wow. And so you said you were a single parent?
Well, my mother was her and my father never was married. But my mother, she was from Salisbury, very poverty stricken, and she's in my book. We came up it wasn't easy. And she went out there and fought for everything that she had to, and she wound up working at the Veterans Hospital for 40 years. My mom worked at the hospital for 40 years. Amazing. And she missed, out of 40 years, Kim, she missed 3 days of work.
Your mom sounds like my mom. My mom worked at the Newport News shipyard for 42 years. She worked at the same, I think it was like 42 years, something. How do you work at the same place? You're talking about loyalty and dedication and sacrifice, right. No matter how much little they were getting paid, right? To still be able to go to every single day, never missing work. 3 days out of 40 years for your mom is not missing work.
Yes. And, and so for me seeing that, of course, I'm like, that was one of the best examples anybody could ever see. And, and I seen what it looks like, and I seen what poverty and like they say in the Bible, Lodabar, and that lack and limitation mindset, man, that could be a self-made prison for anybody, because if you don't never see it, or these kids can never being able to go to a bigger city, or being able to really be able to imagine something bigger than what they've been in the middle of. That's what I was grateful for, because my mom was able to give me a good education. We lived in some great great neighborhoods and a lot of other things that a lot of other kids didn't get to experience. But, I was just blessed to be able to have that type of, camaraderie with her and my stepdad. He did very well, and he gave me a good taste of what business looked like, because once he retired from Food Line, him and my mom was working at the Veterans Hospital. He was a sales rep for the Carolina Panthers. For one of the first Black men that done that. So it was rocky, but I was able to get some of those breadcrumbs to say, okay, all right. And I just, both of them, from more of a 10th and 11th grade education from both of them, and they went out and did those type of things. For me to see that, oh yeah, I was affected.
Yes.
Yeah, I was affected. Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I'm impressed with what has happened in your journey and the gratitude that you have. So you're not taking this for granted. You're like, look, I can help you, and I want to help you from where you've come from yourself. Mm-hmm. And so you want people to be able to succeed, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
And you're willing to kind of hold their hands and walk them through the process.
Yeah, right. And I want to let people know it's no excuses. It's never has been, but now information is so vast. It's so information all over the place. But I was just, like I told people, even when we were putting this thing together for the launch, I say, yes, it's about Lindeo, but it's about who's standing behind Lindeo. You know what I'm saying? And I said, because here you have a local individual and someone that's building a process that's big on educating his community and educating people. It's not about a money thing to me. That's, God pours into me so many different ways. Money is just my definition of money. I got to put that out there. Money is MONEY. It's my own natural energy yield. That's what I call money.
Own what?
It's my own natural energy yield. It's how I feel about myself. is how I patronize and how I speak over my company, my family, my friends, my environment. You understand? That's what shows up in people, places, and things. And it's a rhythm to this thing. Money has ears. You know, you have to be in a good mindset. You have to be able to know how to bring it in and claim your self-image and likeness on whatever that is. And that could be good or bad. So you have to be mindful about what's going in and correlating with your mindset and your spirit, because that's what you're going to bring in. You attract what you put out.
You know what? I don't put this one thing out too often, right, to the public, but every single day I say something, and I say it to God, I say it to my mom, and I say it to one of my friends, my bestie, Sean, and we have this whole running thing going with it. And we're yelling it out and screaming. We're screaming it out to the mountaintop. But I believe wholeheartedly that you can ask God for what you want, and it can become a reality. It can manifest in your life if you really believe it and you are willing to take the action steps for it to happen. It can really become a reality. The event, just so you know, Damone, I know you were asking what time the event is, and thank you for asking that question. It's going to be on September 29th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. You're going to be able to meet with Marvin Wilson, author, veteran, and now Lindeo franchise owner, who is eager to help you. Let me ask this. Do you have to be in the Charlotte and surrounding areas in order for you to help?
Great question. Now, the way the corporate space is set up, I bought the territory for Charlotte all the way down to close to like Johnston Road. I think that's down in the Ballantyne area.
Okay.
All the way up to the tip of China Grove, Kannapolis, which that's almost close to close to Rowan County.
Right.
So I encompasses about, I think they gave me like 400 something square feet that my territory pretty much, consumes of are in this area. But if someone would call me from Virginia, if someone would call me from some other areas, it just would be a little bit different on my side when I patronize with a lender about my territory. But yes, answering your question, I can help someone from anywhere in the United States.
Wow. See, I wanted to hear that answer, because sometimes when I bring a local guest on that's here in my home area, well, I'm originally from 757, everybody, from Newport News, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
All right. University and everything. That's my hometown stomping ground. But I'm here in the Charlotte area, right? And I've been here for over 20 years. And I cannot, first of all, I'm blown away that I have not met you, Marvin Wilson, and you're right here. That means that I'm in a bubble over here. What's wrong with me?
Well, we might have probably was into some of the same spaces. Probably maybe walk right past each other.
I got no Lindeo funding. That's what I'm talking about. I got some spaces. I'm gonna be in your space. You don't know how much space I'm gonna be in.
Well, come on. This is we're ready to shake this thing up. I am so excited about bringing this to the marketplace here in Charlotte, Concord, Kannapolis. I want to get engaged with the business, with all the small business organizations. I want to get encompassed, maybe getting with the chamber, letting people know. And I think this is what the launch is about. Hey, I'm here to help. Yeah. I have this major franchise behind me. We really want to get acclimated and get in front of people, let people know that you do have a lot more funding options besides your bank. And we're going to get into more of educating people. We're going to get you the money, but we want to educate you about getting it and how you can keep it and how you can leverage it. And that stuff doesn't go on, and nothing against our banks, but
the banks are wonderful. Now, please make sure you know, because one of the sponsors for Gabe's Heart Foundation 5K Walk was Bank of America this year. So please, we're very grateful for all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm
thinking would we be, right? So thank you.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is with me, I'm not coming here I'm not competing with the banks. I'm partnering with banks. See, the thing is what I'm trying, and I talked to a colleague of mine. He works for a bank out there in Waxhaw. And he said, well, Marvin, are you my competitor? I'm like, absolutely not, my brother. The thing is that I understand that most banks are regulated and FDIC regulated. So there's certain things they just can't do, right? So what we're saying is, hey, quote unquote, Bank of America, hey, listen, we're here. And if you can't get some of your people or your clientele or the people that, bank with Bank of America, would just let them know that we have an option. But this is the thing. You're not losing anything, Bank of America, because if you can't get people funded and we can, then if we get people $60,000, guess where the money's going to be going? In your bank
in that particular establishment's bank. So it's like you all work synergistically. I love everything I'm hearing. So yes, continue to work with your traditional banks, but know that there is a very creative option here available right here through Marvin Wilson. His Instagram is @fundingcredit. And his website is lindeo.com/local/Centra Charlotte.
I meant to say Central. Sorry about that.
Okay, I was like, hey, something like, because we'll be able to find it. Let me see. It's my fault. Anything that goes wrong on the show, I take full accountability for it. Okay. So I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Let me make sure you all get the right thing here, because we don't want you not to be able to get in touch with this gentleman right here. It's lindeo.com/local/Central Charlotte.
Yep.
Okay. And the phone number is 704-459-1024. And you can definitely connect with him again on Instagram @fundingcredit. There is no reason for us to have an excuse as to why we can't succeed if we have people like Marvin Wilson right here teaching us how to do it as a small business owner. So thank you so much, Marvin. Let me take a quick commercial break, and then I want to come back and hear your closing comments. Is that okay?
Okay. Wonderful.
Have you enjoyed yourself so far?
I've enjoyed it. I really have. And you know what? You're a great host.
Well, let me wait. Now you can't be saying that and I don't have wait. Let me find one little button here. What in the world? You can't the Lindeo new fun franchise owner saying that, and I don't even have this up. Tell them to subscribe something.
Absolutely. You got to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. This is perfect. This is a great show to be on. She's probably one of the most enthusiastic, inspiring hosts I've talked to in a while. I like it. Down to earth and real.
Dog, I should have removed myself from the screen versus sitting here like a mannequin. I'm like this. All right, everybody, listen. Today's episode is also sponsored by attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm. They focus heavily on disability, and if you're dealing with SSI, supplemental workers' comp, wrongful death of loved ones, you can definitely reach out 704-377-9157 and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show did send you their way. Let's learn more about Hunter Everidge Law Firm now.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everidge. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, and we are back with Marvin Wilson, and I have truly enjoyed our conversation today. Is there any closing thought that you wanted to share with everyone? So they would
I just want to convey, guys, that being able to be able to see like-minded people in this type of space, and we can be able to really get to the bottom of how we can build legacies, guys. And I wouldn't just put that in more of an empowerment type perspective. We got to go out here and know it's bigger than us. It's about our kids. It's about what we can leave with our kids. And of course, we are always talked about the sweat of our brow, but I think we need to really start putting our service modality into more business models, something that we can leave and patronize, and something that we can really understand and believe this is what we're living for. We came here to do something. But it's sort of hard to always, it's nothing against my hardworking people out there. I understand that. But the people that do have the mind and capacity to do want to take it to an entrepreneur mindset, there is so many different ways that you can leverage this thing and really make a good life doing what you love to do. That's what the whole thing about passion for freedom. Money is not everything. But I tell you what, when you have freedom, you have the creativity and the time that you can really do what you love to do when you got freedom. And what comes with freedom? Having a healthy business and having a healthy business account. But with that being said, I want to let people understand and know, get into business, understand that this is the times that we're in. We're here in this local Charlotte area. I'm open to speaking engagements, guys. I really want to go out and explore connecting with some people, influencers that's in the community. I've spoke at churches, I've spoke at universities. So I'm very focused about putting the education out there. I can help people. Don't matter where you are in business. Are you ready to get in business? You might not even have a business. Just give you the credentials and give you the consulting so you can be able to be a little bit more, I say less fearful stepping into something that you really want to do and you know you can take it to the next level. That's where I'm at, Kim.
Well, you are at the right place at the right time, and so are we. That we had the opportunity to encounter you today and to learn from you. Everyone, make sure that you're physically present if you're in the Charlotte and surrounding areas on Wednesday, September 29th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. You're going to meet this great gentleman who's also an author, a veteran, and he's also now the new franchise owner of a Lindeo franchise establishment, and he's eager to serve you. So don't worry about it. I have one of the people that graduated from my course that I taught how to teach her to start their own show. Okay. She says, take the mask off when you come into her show. She's sip and chat with Pastor Angeline. Take the mask off. Well, when you come into Marvin's establishment, take the mask off, let your guard down, be vulnerable. Tell him everything there is to know so he can help you from where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Hopefully you can make it out. I'm looking forward to seeing a whole lot of wonderful people. I will have a couple people from corporate, from Lindeo flying in from New York and Utah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
So there may be a possibility for some people to get funding, at least it's approved for funding right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're coming for support. But I will have my staff members there. We're going to be taking some people's names and people that want to follow up with us. Of course, we could do a Zoom call or people come by one of the offices and we can definitely get them going.
Wow. And so one other question somebody asked, and then we're going to get off here. But somebody said if they're a startup business, how is it okay? You still do funding with the startups, even though they don't have any established business credit and everything yet?
Absolutely. This is things here. Business credit is about, your Dun and Brad, your Paydex and things of that sort. It's great that you can patronize and you can get your business credit started up with the net 30s. But this essentially here, yes, and answer your question, I can get funding for startup businesses. Whether you're a sole prop, and you're a startup and you don't have anything on the business, well, this is why we're going to start building the business. But we got to get you some funding, get your credit to a point, then you can go and PG your business. We have different places we can go get you some plastic. We can get you business credit cards. Then once you start getting cash flow and revenue flow, then we can start patronizing how you run your business and build your business out with the business credit. So absolutely, we can definitely work with startup companies.
No, I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Cassandra Backstage, for ensuring that question got asked as well. Marvin Wilson, Instagram at Funding Credit. Go to lindeo.com/local/Central Charlotte. You can also reach him at 704-459-1024. And hey, let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way as well. And I'm excited because you're probably gonna have a new client just even with me as your host, and probably Cassandra. She's shaking her head. Yes. So see some people from the Kim Jacobs Show that's listening in will become clients of yours. So thank you so much, Marvin, for being here.
Well, thank you for the opportunity of having me, Kim. Thank you.
And who said this? I need all the information that I can get on this. Damona, I hope that you'll become a client of his as well and let him know that Kim Jacobs Show sent you. Are there specific funding programs for veterans that are also entrepreneurs as well? We're going to keep this show going. Okay, any questions? Let me pop off.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the criteria. You have to actually be put in a situation that they know that you're a veteran-owned business. And yeah, there are a lot of government funding for veteran-owned businesses. Yes, it is. Yeah.
And so, okay, I'm going to talk to you personally offline too, because I have 3 children with cystic fibrosis, and I also have a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So I want to find out too from you about, are there, and not only me, I know a lot of my friends that have children that have special needs. Are there any types of fundings available for families that have special needs and things of that nature as well through different components?
Well, actually, a lot of the government funding that would probably be coming from a lot of sometimes grants. Like I tell nonprofits, if they have, the type of business model that they're actually going out there and patronizing the cause of what they're standing being on, or what they're saying, what they're bringing to the community. Because basically what nonprofits is, what are you solving in the community? You know what I'm saying? That's where the money comes in, because if I have something that I want to deal with mental illness, I need to go out there and start doing, they call it pilot projects. Pilot projects lets the community and let the funders know, hey, Kim has the heart and she really cares about solving this problem, not only for her family or whatever the case may be. She wants to go out and put this and solve it in the community because she sees there's a need there. That's where the funding comes from. But we know how to build the components around that and then give you pretty much a component that we can actually put you into a funding pedigree that you can get funding for your nonprofit. It's just about a SWOT analysis and some certain things that we do about nonprofits. And yeah, we can get you some funding. We just have to sit down and get some criteria from you.
Okay, and I know you had given these 2 pictures. Tell me about this one right quick. It's 2 pictures.
That was during COVID. That was in the malls. I have a facility out in the mall, a kiosk in the mall, and during that time, our kids was going through a displacement when it comes to being educated and how they were being educated in COVID. And so what I did is once I got the green light and was able to get some of the kids out with the social distancing, I had them actually come out and I was teaching them about business credit. I told them about trade lines. I told them about credit. And then I got their confidence up and I put them in the mall in front of my kiosk and let them out there and start articulating and talking to grown people. They really enjoyed it.
I was wondering because I didn't see you in. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Okay, so because I didn't see you in the picture, right? So I was like, what is this? I'm trying to figure out.
That's a part of my academy. I teach them in the school setting, and then I take them out into the mall so they can actually go out there and learn what they learned in the classroom. I let them go out there and talk to grown people about it.
So that's job shadowing at the highest level. So you're
at the highest level,
allowing them to do internships and externships and job shadowing right on the spot. They're getting on hands experience. Okay. Yep. Wow. I could talk to you all day, Marvin Wilson. But listen, everybody, we have to get ready to go. And I know Cassandra, she must really be enjoying this show too, because normally she'd be like, but she's leaning in like, go ahead, Kim.
Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say thank you to everyone that just totally supported and financially supported and believed in Gabe's Heart Foundation 5K Walk. We just had that event take place this Saturday. It was wonderful. So thank you all for supporting Gabe's Heart in honor of my son, Gabriel Michael Jacobs, that passed away. We do annual 5K walk, and the proceeds go to Doing It Gabe's Way, Random Acts of Kindness. And so we'll be doing some random acts of kindness this week, and it's going to be some fun things that you all will get to see as we do it Gabe's way. So thank you all for your support. And tomorrow, tune in at 11 o'clock a.m. Thank you, Marvin Wilson. You're amazing.
Thank you. All right.
You're amazing. All right, everybody. Have a great day. See you tomorrow at 11. Stay backstage, Marvin. All right.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.